Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Duo Group Ironman. Last video, we continued on training sailing. We did more shipwreck salvaging. I tried Barracuda trials for the first time. I did sea charting with Spook Dog, and we completed the final quest that we had left, Troubled Tortugans, and that's where we left off. Look at that, Spook Dog just got 48 sailing. But in between the videos, I was just editing the previous video and getting that uploaded and scheduled. I've been chopping these trees. There's new types of hardwood trees. And since we unlocked the Great Conch, there's, I believe, just two of them on this island. The Jatobas, which I don't know if they even have a use right now. I didn't see anything you could build with Jatoba logs. And the camphor logs. Camphor logs do have a number of uses for building things that I did see for sure. Between the videos, though, before I started this one, I did get a little woodcutting milestone. I'll throw the clip up. Oh, I didn't even realize it. Thanks.
No problem.
Man, I am itching to get back to sailing, though, because in between the videos, all I've been doing is just chopping. Let's see how many logs I got, though, before I leave this place. The two new types of logs. I chopped a little bit of the Jatobas, but for the camphor logs, got just over 400 of them. I think I'll be able to more than make any upgrade that I'll need for a long time with this amount of camphor logs. Spook Dog and I also spent a little bit of time running around Great Conch, exploring all the content there is, and there's a lot on this island. There's those two new types of trees I showed. There's a Calquat patch. There's some shops here, which are probably great for some sailing locked Ironman YouTube series accounts. Herblore shop, orange salamanders, yew trees, lobsters. There's a new hunter training method. There's crabs. There's rowboats you can use that will take you around the Great Conch, save you a bit of running. The next quest in the series, the Red Reef, is scheduled to come out early 2026, and that will unlock access to the Sacred Grove. It's like a private training spot. We can't go in there right now. It has those two new types of trees. There's red chins, sandstone. There's a granite spot with 4 granite rocks, hermit crabs all around the shore. When I was salvaging in the last video, I got these hemp seeds, and hemp is a material that you need to upgrade your ship. And I don't think there's a way to get hemp besides growing it yourself, or at least there's no other ways listed at the moment. So this is the only known way right now to get hemp. So I want to get these planted ASAP. And you can tell I haven't planted hops before due to the fact that I had to rake it because I have auto weed. It costs 6 flax to pay for protection for a hemp patch. I should ultra compost it as well for the extra yield. Another hops patch I've never used before. Let me rake that. It has been about a day and a half since sailing has come out. I haven't done any farm runs yet, which doesn't mean much, but I don't plan to do any farming. I actually have something planted here. Wow. I don't plan to do any of my typical farm runs like the trees and herbs until after getting the max cape back. I'm pretty much going to be full focusing sailing until then. I didn't really make too many upgrades to my boat because of the fact that I didn't have the highest tier boat unlocked. You unlock the highest tier of boat at level 50, and I got that right at the end of the last video, the sloop. But that's a really low requirement, only level 50, so it makes me think that in the future, they're probably going to add even higher tiers of boats, but right now, this is the best one that we can buy, so I'm going to buy one of those. And theoretically, what's the max amount of boats you could have? You can have up to 5 boats at level 91. So theoretically, by the end of things, you would just have 5 sloops, right? Which means I'm eventually going to end up throwing out those 2 lower tiers of boats I already have, unless there's some benefit of like easier maneuvering or something, I don't know, but my assumption is that I'll end up throwing out those boats, which is why I haven't done too much customizing or too much upgrading onto them. But now that I have the highest tier of boat unlocked, I may as well go crazy with the upgrades and upgrade everything as much as I can. I do see one benefit right away, though, of having lower tier boats is that they're cheaper to move around. Whereas this highest tier boat, it's 50k every time I want to move it between ports. Oh wow, it's way more expensive to make upgrades to these. Like for example, the hull parts, you have to use large hull parts. 1 large hull parts is 5 hull parts, and 5 hull parts is 5 planks. So if I'm doing the math right, that means 16 large mahogany hull parts is 400 mahogany planks. And that's only temporary too until I get to level 67, and then I'll need 400. Okay, I guess those logs I chopped won't last as long as I thought they were going to. That's just one upgrade to the boat, which I'm going to eventually end up replacing too. And it's going to be the same thing for these keel parts. 16 large mithril keel parts is the same as 400 mithril bars. It is a bit of a process making these, but the numbers work out really well because for each inventory, you're able to make 5 mahogany hull parts, and with the 5 mahogany hull parts, you could then make 1 of the large hull parts. So it's 1 large hull part per inventory. I guess you could speed this up a little bit if you bring a plank sack with you, but it's not too far of a run from the bank. And here's my stack of, I'll just show you my skilling supplies bank tab so you can see all my planks and logs and everything. Could be worse though. Imagine having to do this on a UIM. Oh my god. I don't know how people play that game mode. I do want to mention that in Port Khazard, there is a bank that's closer to a shipwright's workbench and to a shipwright. Hey, since we got the quest cape back, that means I can now retrim my diary cape. I mean, since we got the quest cape last video for the first time ever, while I was making all this, I was thinking, why am I even doing this? Because I don't know if I'm about to even do anything that requires this hole or whatever. I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. So maybe going forward, I'll wait until there's a requirement for something before I actually go and spend the time and resources making that thing. But at least I have a hole for now. A hole's a pretty important part of a boat, I think. Most of these upgrades are a lot cheaper though. I think it's mainly the keel and the hull that are really expensive in terms of resources, but everything else isn't that bad. Of course, I gotta add that flag onto the back. Look how big the boat is now. Look how many facility spots there are. That's awesome. And of course, the two most important things I need to build on my new final boat is going to be the salvaging station and the salvaging hook. May as well build an inoculation station here because it's the only thing you can build to help get through fetid waters, and a steel cannon because it's cheap, so may as well. Better to have it and not need it than need it but not have it when it's that cheap. Mudkip type of dude to build 2 salvaging hooks on the boat. I'm done making upgrades for now. The next milestone I'll be looking towards is going to be the next Barracuda trial, which is 55 sailing. This thing looks so big. First time driving it on the water. Look how big it is, dude. That's crazy. I've seen other people with this boat, but like, now that I have it myself, it's really hitting me how big this thing is. Nice skiffs you all have there, noobs. It's almost like this guy heard me talking. I've done courier tasks, but I haven't done the other type of task that you can get from the notice board, which is the wanted tasks. It's a good thing I built the cannon because I want to try these out. Why is that one a different color than the others? May as well just take all 3 of these. The max tasks I can take now is 3. It becomes 4 maximum tasks at 56. If we take a look at this, the frigate bird, I need to get 3 frigate bird feathers. I go over to the bounty task wiki page. I'll search for frigate bird. Oh, so it's the same kinds of animals, but it's just based on the location. I'm at the Void Knight outpost. So frigate bird feathered, it's a 1 out of 3 drop. Okay. Now you have to get 3 of them. Oh, it's even more expensive to recover the boat now. 57.5k. Maybe because I made upgrades to it. Maybe that makes it more expensive. And I can check the captain's log, click on the task, and it says right here, there should be some southwest of the outpost. So until there's a plugin that tells me where to go, or until I memorize them, then probably will rely on that. Oh, I found them. I don't know how to attack them. I don't think you're able to attack them yourself with your own weapon. I think you'd have to be on land. You'd have to. There might be some monsters you are able to attack if they're by the land, but for the most part. Oh. Wait, I can? Hold on. I think it's better to use the cannon though. My ship's taking damage. Hold on. Okay, operate the cannon, then click on the bird. Ah, there we go. Can I just AFK or does it fire automatically? Yeah, it does. Okay, yeah. Not bad. Nice, you get ranged and sailing XP based on the amount of damage that you do. This is just 1 sailing XP per damage, seems like. And then to harvest it, do I have to be... Okay. You don't have to be like right next to it. You can drag it to you and see if you get the thing. Hello, it's me from the future. The next day they made this hotfix because it turns out you were able to attack these monsters from land for some tasks using a dwarf cannon on land, but they patched that. And I want to mention something I found out after recording this, which is you can also use your crewmate to steer the ship while you fire the cannon, which will let you turn your ship at the same time. I wasn't sure if the monsters would be damaging me or damaging the ship, which is why I brought Kourend ones just in case. I have not watched any sailing videos or streams, I guess you could tell. I originally thought you were going to have to line up the ship so the cannon goes straight forward. It's kind of funky, the cannonball just shoots to the side like that, but it'd probably be pretty rough if you had to line up the boat perfectly, so I'm glad they did it this way. Do you think Jobless Jim is good at the cannon? Or, oh wait, no, you could see, oh, that's what this means. Those are his stats. He has P1, but you need P2 to be able to operate that, right? As it turns out, the wiki does actually have the spots for a lot of these monsters already listed, so we'll just use the wiki to find these. I now see where it could be beneficial to have a cannon on both sides of the boat, because I can only hit if the monster's on that side. Yes, we're saving another dog. Oh, I love it. That's so cute. Now we have a dog on board. What if I never go to land, so he has to stay with me forever? Speaking of dogs, Spook Dog just got 50 sailing. What is this? Pillar frag. Looks like there's 3 types of frag, and if you click on it, it says this is something that you plant. It requires 52 farming, and you get pillar coral. Pillar coral is used to make the new potions. So it's an herblore primary or secondary? Yeah, it's like a new primary ingredient. I guess coral is kind of like herbs. This feels very similar to doing Hunter Rumors, because the monsters aren't guaranteed to drop the thing. Oh, there's the XP I got from the castaway. You just have a chance to get the thing, or in some cases you need like 3 or 5 of them. You go out and get the thing, and then you come back and return the thing. And there were some numbers on the wiki. I don't know how accurate it is in terms of the amount of XP you get, so let's just find out right here. Oh, 13k XP. Okay, so that was accurate on the wiki. It was like 4 point something K each. That was probably a bit over 30 minutes, maybe 35, 40 minutes. I was spending some time figuring things out, and that's 53 sailing. I just did 2 tasks because that Osprey one's pretty far out. I don't really like it as much. Let's claim the rewards, and there is 54. I could build a mithril keel. I just realized I'm getting GP as well, and I could see how much XP I'm getting because it's still a 1-to-1 ratio of GP to XP. I've accidentally attacked 2 at once and realized it's multi-combat, and I now have 2 of these birds attacking the ship at the same time. This is a big one. Level 55 sailing. Now do the Jubbly Jive Barracuda trial, and we have 2 crewmates at once. And Adventure Ada, and the Teleport Focus. I am going to have to come back in the future to buy even more of these, but I need to buy a magic stone. Did someone buy one of them already? Whatever, I'm just going to buy it for 1 mil GP. With 55 sailing, I can build a Teleport Focus, which allows me to use the Summon Boat spell, which teleports your boat to the dock that's nearest to you. I want to make sure I'm building this in a decent spot, because I don't know if you can move these around. Like with your POH, you can move your rooms around, but I don't know if I can move the facilities around. I do want to show real quick that not even too far into the future, at only 75 sailing, there is an upgrade to the, it's not even an upgrade, it's like a separate thing, so I would just be wasting a magic stone right now, because I'll probably end up building this eventually anyways. The Greater Teleport Focus, it not only lets you summon your boat to you, but it lets you teleport to the boat using the Teleport to Boat spell, and I'm sure I'll end up building this later on, so it's kind of a waste of 1 mil, but also not really, because I have been moving the boat around a lot, so it'll save me 60k GP every time I end up moving the boat, so I got that now. 55 sailing for the Mithril Helm, which you need for this next Barracuda trial. If you were wondering, this is what the fully grown hemp looks like. And the magic secateurs do increase the yield with the 10% bonus, but the farming cape does not increase the yield for hops. From this first patch I got 24, and the second patch I got 23 from it. Each one of these turns into 1 hemp yarn. Then come over to the loom, where I can turn 2 hemp yarn into 1 bolt of canvas. Let's try using this spell for the first time. Summon Boat. Summon, and it cost me no GP. Just 2 law runes, a full inventory of supplies to build this one, mahogany, mast, and canvas. My inventory's empty now. Next up, we're gonna build a keg and start working on this thing. Talking to Rum-Dashed Ralph, ask him if there's any rewards to claim. He'll treat you to a drink, his specialty, the Whirlpool Surprise. And once you claim this once from this guy, you could then buy it in the Pandemonium. You need the Shark rank in order to be able to claim this, which is the 2nd tier, not the 3rd and final tier. And then, as you can see, it is now an unlimited stock from this dude. If you add 25 of a drink into your keg, it will then provide an unlimited amount of them. You carefully pour all the alcohol into the keg. Once done, you do a double take, as somehow there appears to be far more inside the keg than you actually put in. You can put noted ones in there, it doesn't have to be unnoted, but once you put 25 in there, you will then get an unlimited amount that you could take out, and as you can see right here with the Whirlpool Surprise, this is what it does. When you drink one, it boosts your sailing by 3, cooking by 2, and drains agility by 2. However, you don't have to drink it. There's also a passive effect that gives an invisible +2 sailing boost, and it'll give your crew a minimum of level 2 deckhandiness and level 2 helmsmanship. Eventually, I'd want to get this one because it gives you a +2.5% sailing XP boost, but you have to completely chart 70 oceans, so that's pretty far off for me. Oh, I'm being attacked. Maybe I could just stand here and be fine. Yeah, okay. So with crewmates, there are 2 more I can recruit. I still have to recruit the level 50 crewmate and the level 55 crewmate. The level 51 is Captain Syad. why don't you leave this camp and join my crew? You do have to have the tourist trap done in order, that's the requirement to have him join your crew, and there we go, we got him to join. Hey, there he is, ex-Captain Syad. And then, yeah, here's Adventurer Ada. No requirement to hire her, besides 55 sailing, but no outside requirement. I would definitely be happy to have you on my crew. And she's been recruited. It's kind of like a permanent unlock type of thing. You can then go to the crew registrar and manage your crew and assign them however you want. Whoever you hover over, it'll show their stats, and yeah, on both sides. And they'll also do a comparison between the left side and the right side. Goodbye, Jobless Jim. Really living up to your name. You can have your first name back again, Jobless. I don't know why the guy made me unreasonably mad. I think it's because I'm still figuring out how the crew works, so it's like kind of annoying, and like he's my first crewmate and I had to use him to figure out how the crew works, which I still don't fully understand or really understand much at all, but yeah, frick that guy. With another upgrading sesh out of the way, it is time to go to the shipwrecks and go salvaging again because I need to eat dinner because it's getting really late and I'm hungry. I did unlock a better tier of shipwreck salvaging at level 53, which is the large shipwrecks. And I was looking on the wiki, it says that they are over here. So I summoned my boat to the conch, and it's probably the fastest way to get there, sailing from the conch. Ex-Captain Syad is level 3 for D, and the salvaging hook is a D skill. Forgot what port side and starboard, which is which left or right, doesn't really matter. I'm going to assign him to that side, and then I will deploy my own on this side. And let's see how much XP we get per salvage from these large shipwrecks. 28. That was his though. He got me 28 XP. My own salvage gets me 48 XP. And then any of the salvages that Syad gets, or any crewmate gets, will be put into the cargo hold. Wow, this is awesome, dude. Yeah, this is great. Now let's just see real quick before I start eating and making dinner. How much XP do I get for cleaning or sorting the salvage? 24 XP. Oh, caskets. That is pretty nice loot. Oh, I should have brought Alks. I should have brought Alks as well as enchanting runes and my Ring of Suffering, so I could charge up the Ring of Suffering with Rings of Recoil, and I'm only half joking about that, but also kind of serious too. I knew there was some kind of upgrade I forgot to make. The cargo hold, I didn't do anything to it. It only has a cap of 40. Oh, and you get the frags too. Unfortunately, the loot tracker does not track this stuff yet, but this is, wow, Mithril Cannonball. This is a lot better loot than I thought it was going to be. I do want to take this time to make an announcement. There's something that I've been working on for quite a while that I know some of you will be really excited to hear about because, well, I know I've been really excited to announce this. As most of you know, I eat dinner every day, and for years people have always asked me, hey Mudkip, what's for dinner? Well, you no longer have to wonder what I'm having for dinner because I made a Twitter account where I will be posting my dinner as often as possible. I can't promise every day because you know how things can come up, but as someone who eats dinner every day, I will try to do my best. And well, here's a little sample of what you have to look forward to. Yes, I got the Sailor's Amulet. I was really hoping I would get this. Let me show you on the wiki. It lets you teleport to Pandemonium, Port Roberts, and Deepfin Point. Well, once you unlock Port Roberts and Deepfin Point, it uses 1 charge per teleport, and 1 law rune and 10 water runes gives you 10 charges. And the drop rate for getting this from, I was doing large salvages, you can only get it from salvaging. It's about 1 in 1500 from the one I was doing. That's a new piece of fashionscape for my sailing outfit. Looks like a steering wheel. I mean a boat steering wheel. Wait, is there even a steering wheel? I guess we don't have a steering wheel, but now we do. It's around my neck. 56 sailing. All I've been doing is going back and forth between these 2 shipwrecks, and maybe there's a spot you could figure out in the middle, but it's not too much effort to just navigate forward and then navigate backwards a little bit. And yeah, it's awesome having the crew work on the salvaging hook because as soon as I get into range of this, he just automatically sets it down and starts salvaging. I was thinking if you're going to go away from the computer for say 20-30 minutes, you could set up both of your crewmates to be working on these salvaging hooks. And yeah, they will stop when the shipwreck depletes, but as soon as it replenishes, they'll both start working again. And they'll like deplete, replenish, and every time it's there, they're gonna keep on filling up the cargo hold. So if you have like a really big cargo hold, then you could AFK for like 30 minutes and come back to a maxed out cargo of salvages. There is level 57 sailing. That means I can now chart weather patterns and build a mithril cannon. And weather patterns, I think that's the final type of sea charting. Here's the levels of the things in order, and Weather charting station. Yeah, that's the last one on here. I don't think it means I'm able to chart the whole entire map of oceans, because I think there are some inaccessible areas or upgrades I would have to make to my ship before I can access everywhere, but I at least have the methods of charting unlocked. I want to see if I teleport out from my boat in the middle of the water, can I still summon it back? Or does the boat have to be docked somewhere in order to summon it? Oh, no, it's lost at sea. You'll have to speak to a shipwright to recover it. And how much does it cost to recover it? Okay, it's the same price as summoning it, 57k. Let's try charging this amulet fully up. 10k charges is the max, and you can't take out charges. So I'm going to be locking in 1,000 law runes and 10,000 water runes. And I don't have these other two teleports unlocked. I can only teleport to Pandemonium. But it's nice having a fast way to get to Pandemonium, because previously, I don't know if this was the best way, but what I was doing is I would use the Spirit Tree to Port Sarim, run to the dock, and take the 30 GP boat from there. I want to head over to the Barracuda trial, and I was looking at the wiki page. It turns out, for the second tier Barracuda trial, the Jubbly Jive, you specifically need a skiff. So I guess there is a use for lower tier boats after all, and higher tier doesn't necessarily mean better. And you have to have a mithril helm and inoculation station, so I'm just gonna recover that and build the mithril helm. Probably want to upgrade the mast too, because the mast will give better acceleration and speed boost duration, so upgrading to the mahogany. This is the location of the Jubbly Jive, and it seems like the best way to get there would be from Corsair Cove, so I've recovered the boat here, and I will sail around to get there. Oh yeah, if you go through this stuff, here I'll go through just to show you, it significantly slows the boats down. That is for sure going to come into play during these Barracuda trials. The tutorial seemed really confusing, but I'm going to figure it out anyways. And I was thinking there's not really a point to even doing unranked, like you may as well start with Swordfish. I know I started with unranked for the first trial, but I don't think there's even a point to that. Well, it's not the completion, but that did get me to level 58 sailing from that run. I definitely got it this time. Let's see, the XP dropped 6.7k XP. There's the first tier of this Barracuda trial complete, and I get the fetid key. Well, for this level 2 trial, I am taking my time. I marked everything. I tried to learn the routes. I watched a few videos. The Barracuda trials have routes on their wiki pages, so I'm using this. Seems like a lot to learn, but I can imagine after you've done it for a while, then it wouldn't be too bad. Or, you know, you could just wait for a Runelite plugin to come out. You don't need repair kits for this trial, by the way. I brought them just in case because I didn't know. I did not beat the time, but that has gotten me to 59 sailing. Ooh, adamant salvaging hook. It was definitely worthwhile for that first run where I was marking everything to slow down, take my time, really try to figure out how the route goes and remember what I'll be doing for the future runs, because now that I'm a couple runs in, I feel like I know how the route goes for the most part already. 60 sailing. Yeah, I'm definitely not making this time. But that's okay. I only have to meet the time once, and even after I beat the time, I'm still going to be doing this trial for a while because it's good XP, and also that rhymed. It's tough too because even though it's 3 minutes, it does take a few seconds for the Jubbly to actually get there. So when you get to the end, you're just sitting around waiting for, I don't know, 3-4 extra seconds. So really it's like 2:56 that you have to beat. No! Oh yeah, this is definitely it. Now we wait. We get a big XP drop, 10.5k XP, and along with that, 61 sailing. And the item that we get from that is Captured Wind Mote. I'm looking at the level 3 route on the wiki, and I mean, it makes sense to me, but man, that is a lot to do and a lot to remember. There's even a couple parts where you go through that bubble stuff in the water that slows you down, because the gust of wind helps you push through that, and the gust of wind timing is static every run, so it should always be the same if you're doing it on pace at least. I've heard a lot of people are struggling with this third tier of Jubbly Jive, and it's at least good to know that there's no actual utility reward you get from it. It's just a cosmetic reward, so that makes me feel a little bit better because I doubt I'm going to get this. I'm saying that without even having tried it, but it seems pretty rough. Actually, I'm going to go use these items. The first item we have is the fetid key, and that opens up a chest that is on the Angler's Retreat, not too far away. I found the chest. It is an island next to the island. It is a moon island, I guess. Okay, we're gonna disembark here. This is the Angler's Retreat. There is a new hardwood tree farming patch here, and there's a tent that I may as well chart while I'm here. Here's the chest. We use up the key and we get the nifty hat, nifty trousers, nifty shoes, nifty jacket, That's what it looks like. Let me get some emeralds. More sailing fashionscape. Oh, I like the hat. Is that like a chompy head on it, or a jubbly head on it? The captured wind mote is used to make the wind catcher at 53 sailing, and there's a higher tier version of this, the gale catcher at 79 sailing. But here's all the items that you need to build this. And we're gonna grab a saw and hammer. If you didn't know, there's a crate of saws and crate of hammers, so you don't even have to bring your own from the bank. You can use the wind catcher to store wind, and you can choose when to release the wind. That's probably the trick for that trial where you have to go over the bubbly water that slows you down. Hey, I just fully charted Ooglog channel. I didn't realize that was the last one. I just saw her on the way going back to the trial. So first, I have to activate the wind catcher, and then we'll wait for a gust of wind. A gust of wind is hit the boat, trim the sail, and that just lightened up. So I can release it anytime for a speed boost. Let's try it now. You get sailing XP for doing that. I like how on the live version of the wiki page, someone put on here, to whoever posted the image of the shark trial path, blah, blah, blah. It's funny seeing like this argument on the live version and not in like the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, don't mind me just doing a little bit of charting during this level 3 Barracuda run. I'm trying to mark everything out right now and figure out the path. Well, at least from this one, you do get a 6.2k XP drop. It's pretty nice. Yo, we got the world record speed run right here. 21 minutes. Let's go. Still not even close to getting this trial down, or like, yeah, not anywhere close at all, but got 62 sailing. The time to beat for this is 5:21, and so far I've gotten 6:14. I'm about 1 minute off, which is quite a lot of time I'm gonna have to shave off. 63 sailing. Oh, check this out. Let me show you how I can go through that using the wind catcher thing. Okay, I'm focusing right now. I'm focusing. That's the closest I've been yet. 5:43. So close. And then you sit around waiting at the end for the jubbly to get there. 14 seconds off. 64 sailing. Still no luck though. Oh, that's yeah, I'm getting close to the time. 64 sailing, that's the next tier of the salvages though, the pirate shipwrecks. Oh, pain. Look how close that is, and the timer's still going because the freaking jubbly's going over there. 5:30. No, look, I beat the time, but I have to wait. No. Oh, it's so close, dude. 6 seconds off. 65 sailing. 6 seconds off. Oh, yes, this is it. This is it. Come on. Jubbly, you better hurry. 5 seconds. 4, 3. Oh my god. Oh yes, yes, yes. Exactly on the time too. Oh wow, that was clutch, dude. If we check the trials here. Oh, now I could chill. Now I could get my casual 6-minute marlin times while I grind up the sailing XP. That feels really good. It took me 38 total Jubbly Jive runs to get that. The next goal I'm going to be looking towards is the next tier of Barracuda Trial, which is actually the last tier of Barracuda Trial at level 72 sailing. That will be my next goal. And I'll just be doing a combination of Barracuda Trials and Shipwreck Salvaging based on if I need to AFK or not to get to level 72. That is crazy though, dude. Exactly on the time. So if I took even 2 ticks longer, maybe even 1 tick longer, I would not have made that. And I felt like I did pretty much everything perfectly. There was one very, very small mishap, but you have to be like almost perfect, I feel like. There's probably more optimized routes out there than the one I was using because it's been just over 2 days, like 2.5 days since sailing has come out. And I just used that image on the wiki that I showed before. Maybe I could search the depths of YouTube and Reddit to find a route that will be 10 seconds faster on average. But honestly, I kind of can't be bothered to learn a different route unless it's a RuneLite plugin guiding me through it. Otherwise, I'm fine with being a couple % more inefficient over these next few hours as I grind away to level 72. I don't know if anyone cares or if it's really worth the time showing how I do this or how I set up these object markers, because there's probably going to be a RuneLite plugin out before we know it. But there's 3 rounds that you have to do, and for the first round, I've marked those lost supplies green. For the second round that I have to do, I've marked those supplies as yellow, and for the final round, I've marked those as red. And then I color coordinated each of these pillars to whatever color they are. This XP drop gets me to 66 sailing. I'm about to go salvaging, so I'm gonna upgrade the cargo hold to the highest tier I can make, level 60 sailing, the camphor one. Each one of these camphor planks costs 2.5k to make from a log into a plank. And very important, I need to build the Swamp Cruiser's flag. Let's take a look at how it looks. It's a little frog, or toad, probably. Because I'll be salvaging, that means I want crewmates with higher deck handiness if I'm going to be relying on them to do the salvaging. Syad has level 3, Ada only has level 1, and Jim has level 3. So I'm going to have them two be my salvagers. The salvaging spot I'm going to is just south of the Void Knights. And I took off from Corsair Cove. I guess it'd be faster to summon my boat to the Void Knight outpost right here, but doesn't make too much of a difference. I forgot to upgrade the salvaging hooks and don't really have time to now because we're about to go out, but just want to see how much sailing XP we get. I get 63 XP from when I loot, and when the crewmate loots or gets salvage, it is 38 XP. And let's see how much space the cargo hold has now, 160. And then also want to see how much XP do we get for cleaning each of these salvages, 31 XP. We made it. It's rainy, and there's a lot less people here than I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be packed shoulder to shoulder, but not bad. Well, we just got back, and while I was showering, I was having these two do the salvaging for me, and I came back, I started cleaning all the salvages, and I just got a rusty coin, which is a new collection log item, and you could turn this into the Varrock Museum for a kudos, and a 10k XP lamp. And then any additional ones you get beyond this, you'll just get 5k GP from the Varrock Museum. From the pirate shipwrecks, the wiki estimates the rusty coin is about 1 in 2700. Now that we're back, I've kicked off one of the crewmates from salvaging and doing it myself instead, and there is 67 sailing. I don't know why, but for some reason my friends have this obsession with tagging me in anything that has 6-7 in it. And they both tagged me when they got 67 sailing. So of course, I have to tag both of them. That's right, the turns have tabled now. Here's a picture from tonight, by the way. I just did a Discord search for from me embeds, and it looks like all the recent embeds that I've done lately have all been this one. Now I'm on the other side of that. I should go to bed, it's pretty late. And we have another concert to go to tomorrow, or today technically. Whenever you're in a double spot and both of the salvage spots are depleted, then you can hop worlds, maybe you have to hop multiple worlds, and find a world that isn't depleted. Do you have to reassign your crewmates every time you hop or log off? I haven't figured out a way to lock them in. Whoa, I'm still editing right now. And I just got a dragon cannonball, and that's a collection log item. According to the wiki from the pirate shipwrecks, that's about 1 in 4k. I wonder if it's the kind of thing where they'll mostly be used for PvP because it's like a somewhat rare item. According to the wiki, it says that you can't smith them yourself. You can just obtain them as drops or from other sources, and you don't really get them in bulk. Kind of reminds me of dragon throne axes or dragon knives. 68 sailing. I've been at this for a couple hours this morning while I've been editing, not having 2 crewmates on, but 1 crewmate and me doing the other salvaging hook and hopping worlds whenever both of them are depleted. And I'm getting close to 32k XP per hour. This is such a great double spot though, where I'm able to reach both of the shipwrecks at the same time without having to move the ship. And I'm looking forward to when there's a RuneLite plugin that comes out that will show you the exact ways you can position your boat to get into the double spot, because it could be a little bit of effort to find the double spot, and when you're trying to quickly set up to AFK, you don't want to have to like move back and forth and do a little bit of trial and error to figure it out. And by the time you spent long enough at a shipwreck salvage to finally figure out how to get into the double spot every time you come here, you will have already gained enough XP to unlock the next tier of shipwreck salvaging. You could mark tiles to figure out where to position the boat, but it's like, well, which part of the boat is this tile supposed to be? Is this tile supposed to be like this part of the boat, or do you just mark 50 tiles to take up the whole space of the boat? I'll just wait for a plugin. I haven't done this before, but this is what it looks like if you use one of your crewmates to captain the boat. This is really interesting. This is literally my first time doing this. You can navigate the boat around and also still move around with your character to do stuff on the boat, salvage or shoot the cannon or whatever. This is awesome, wow. And you don't even have to pay your crewmates any GP. They're in it for the love of the game. Trim the sail. It does make my character run to the back, but I still get sailing XP. I don't even have to trim the sail myself. If I have the crewmate working back there, next time we get a gust of wind, you'll see the crewmate does it. Nice. Here's level 70 sailing. And I don't think I said yet, but the goal for this video before I end the video is going to be to get to level 72. No way I got a PB by 1 second without even changing the route up, and I didn't even know I was doing that well. Finishing the run and getting level 71 sailing. I did not track the XP per hour myself, but it says here on the wiki that you can expect 85 or 90k XP per hour depending on your hull. But even just breaking down the math, it makes sense because it's 6200 XP you get per run. But when you include the XP you get from collecting the crates and the occasional gust of wind, probably comes out to about 8k sailing XP per run. And even if you say 6 minutes per run, which is pretty chill, making some mistakes every time and not paying max attention, that's 10 runs per hour. So 10 runs times 8k sailing XP. I think it might even be a little bit more, but that's 80k XP per hour right there, so that already checks out. I remembered to upgrade my salvaging hooks to adamant now that I unlocked them. I do plan to get this whole next level from salvaging because I got some editing to do and a couple Uber rides tonight. I decided I would bring a staff and runes and my Ring of Suffering just in case I do decide to enchant the Rings of Recoil to add in the suffering charges. And probably should check the charges to see what I'm at. Currently have 32.7k. Line the boat up and put it straight on in there. And we're good. One thing I was wondering about is, can I salvage if I have something equipped in the weapon slot? And I can. Another way you can assign people to facilities is if you go into this tab, select the facility. So that's a salvaging hook, that's a salvaging hook, and select who you want to go there. And they'll run over there. Good morning. We had a late night at the late night factory, just waking up now. And when I logged in, I saw this quest helper has been updated to add a new helper, sea charting. Sounds very useful. Here we go, about to get the level. 72 sailing. And with that, the goal has been reached for this video because 72 unlocks the Gwyneth Glide and just seems like a nice milestone. Thank you so much for watching through to the end of the video. I really appreciate you still being here. And next video, I'm looking forward to heading over to Prif, trying out the highest tier of the Barracuda trials, and exploring more and more every single day of what sailing has to offer. My duo teammate Spookdog's most recent video will be in the description. And with that said, thank you again for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.